of the Planning Commission and Airport, excuse me, Zoning Commission for May 20th, 2020 are called to order concurrently at 6:11 p.m. Pursuant to Executive Order number N2520 and N2920, members of the Planning Commission and staff are participating in this meeting via video link, Zoom, indoor teleconference. This is not an in-person meeting. Members of the public may observe this meeting on the City of Hawthorne website or on YouTube. This time we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'd like to call on Commissioner Richard. Would you mind leading us in the pledge tonight?
No problem. So right hand over your heart. It's me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God, indivisible,
with liberty and
justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, will you please call the roll?
Yes, Chairperson Smith,
Present.
Vice Chairperson Al-Shanable,
Present.
Commissioner Ortiz,
Present.
Commissioner Caraveo,
Present.
Commissioner Richard.
present.
Thank you. Oral communications. This is the time for oral communications. Because this meeting is not an in-person meeting, members of the public who wish to participate in the meeting were asked to participate by calling or emailing the planning department no later than 5:30 p.m. today, noting the item on which the member wants to speak. This information was provided on the agenda posted in compliance with the Brown Act on Saturday, May 16th, 2020. At this time, if there were any messages left for oral communication, staff will call the public member, place them on speakerphone, or read those messages for those individuals that provided written comments. Excuse me. Remarks are still limited to 3 minutes in duration. Staff, is there any participation from the public for oral communications?
Chairperson, we did not receive any messages for oral communication.
Excuse me a minute. Okay, then we will move on to the Planning Commission and Airport Zoning Commission consent calendar. And there are no items. Recess the Airport Zoning Commission, and we'll go to the Planning Commission consent calendar. There are no items. Next is continued public hearings. There are no items. New public hearings. Conditional use permit 2018 CU07. Now is the time and place to open the public hearing to consider conditional use permit number 2018 CU07. Senior Planner Chris Palmer will present a staff report.
Thank you, Commissioners. Good evening, and good evening to members of the public as well. Conditional use permit 2018 CU07 is a request for a beer and a full liquor license type 21 at 3670 Imperial Highway. Hawthorne Municipal Code Chapter 1776-020 requires that anyone serving alcohol or selling alcohol requires a conditional use permit. The applicant is applying for a type 21 alcohol, which authorizes the sale of beer and wine and distilled spirits for consumption off premises. The proposed project would include the sale of alcohol beverages within an approximate 1,580 to 2,000 square foot retail space on the first floor of a new two-story commercial building. If I could share my screen, I'll show you the floor plan. I think this is it right here. And so, zoom to the floor plan. Okay. Is my screen being shown?
Yes,
You can see it?
yes.
Oh, okay. Because I can't see it. Give me a second. Oh, anyway. So in front of you, you should see the first floor of the plan. And so unit A and B are the units that are going to be combined so that could be the mini market area. We did not get a square footage of the proposed storage of the liquor because it's a mini mart that hasn't applied for a business license yet. This is the applicant's attempt to be able to market that he has a beer and wine license for the sale of alcohol when he secures the mini market. But in the conditions of approval, it talks about where it cannot go, where liquor cannot be stored. And so that's the floor plan. I reported in the staff report that it's not in the immediate vicinity of any churches and schools and things like that. That's not a requirement of the Hawthorne Municipal Code. The Hawthorne Municipal Code requires that if there's sensitive uses such as churches or schools or parks in the area, that the applicant tell us how they're going to deal with those sensitive uses. So in the resolution, it talks about signage being posted to remind of the minimum drinking age and the advertisement towards people less than 21, and also where you can and cannot store the liquor. Okay, I'm done with sharing my screen.
Okay,
So let me get back to the report.
all right, thank you, Chris. Does the Planning Commission have any questions for the staff? This is the time for questions of staff only.
Through the chair, I have a question. So if there's problems with loitering in the area, in the premises, do we have any? Does the city have any recourse?
Yeah, if there's a problem and there's reported instances of continued issues and it becomes a nuisance, any conditional use permit can be called back to the Planning Commission to revoke the license. And in the conditions of approval, condition number two actually says that. It says that the applicant must obtain and maintain a Type 21 off-sale full liquor license by the Alcohol Beverage Commission and abide by local, state, and federal regulations prior to operation of the business. All requirements of the ABC and the city shall be observed at all times, and such requirements shall be a condition of approval. The surrender, lapse, termination, suspensions, or payment of a fine in lieu of suspension termination of the alcohol beverage license issued for the site by the ABC shall be grounds for revocation of the CUP.
Okay. Now, this is just a general question. So every liquor license that the city grants does have is a conditional use permit, and is in terms of history, is that the case? Like for all the liquor stores, for example, that we have, or markets or whatever.
Liquor stores that were in place prior to the early 90s, prior to the riots, all of them didn't have conditional use permits. Once the riots happened back in like 93 is when like the city's laws changed regarding liquor license, requiring every use that's asking for a new liquor license to have a CUP.
Okay. And then my last question, I think, are there other liquor stores in the area? And how close are they?
The liquor store that I'm familiar with is, I'll bring up a map. It's over 1,000 feet away. I want to say it's at the gas station that's located on. I want to say that gas station. Might be off of. I think it's off of Yukon. I can double check that in a second. I'll check to see where that is.
Okay. And and it's
It's on Prairie. I'm sorry, it's on Prairie.
and this license, I'm sorry, I'm sure you said it, but it's liquor, it's beer and liquor, or just
Yeah, it's a type 21, which is alcohol, wine, and liquor.
Okay.
Yep,
Is that it?
that's all my.
Is that it, Juan?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anyone on the commissioners that have anything of the staff?
Yeah, I had a question. I drove by, I also looked at an aerial. It looks like there is a church, I believe 2 properties down, going east, and then right next to that church, there's a middle school. So I wanted you guys to be aware of that. And then I would like to see, I know you said that they don't have a particular floor plan for, the display of the alcohol, but I would like to see that floor plan displaying the alcohol, just so that we're sure that it's, not going to be a full, like they're only going to be selling alcohol as their main use. Let's see. And then I would also like, once we get that back, to have a condition limiting the square foot size of that display area as well.
We have a provision in the municipal code that talks about what is accessory, and if they were to open and more than 50% of their sales was for liquor, then we could take a look at that. We don't have a mini mart applicant, and so we can condition certain things now, and if once he gets the mini mart applicant, that applicant can come and appeal if he would like. But it'd be kind of hard to show you something that doesn't exist.
Okay, so right now it's the owner that's applying, the owner of the property that's applying for this permit?
Yes, this is considered a pre-entitlement.
Okay.
Okay. Is the applicant available to speak?
Chairperson Smith, yes, they are. I will be calling them right now with my phone. Do you have questions for the applicant? I'm just going to let them know that you either have questions or if they want to make a presentation. Does anyone have any questions of the applicant?
Through the chair, just not necessarily to the applicant, but I do have an additional question for staff. Is there a limit to how many liquor licenses can be issued? It seems like every time we review one of these liquor licenses, it's been said that there's a limit, but we keep on seeing these before us. So, what are the requirements? If you can explain that again, or the limitations?
The limitations are issued by ABC, and is based on census tract information. And so the census tract information that we had from some time ago when we brought you previous alcohol licenses was done prior to all of the development and construction that's taking place. So the census tracts have actually increased. I don't have the latest data for ABC. It's kind of hard getting certain data because of unfortunate the pandemic that's going on. But once this goes through, it's not even applicants that don't already have a full liquor license can't even apply for a full liquor license. So this applicant, I'm under the impression that this applicant already has a full liquor license permit because ABC isn't granting new liquor licenses. So this must be a transfer of another one. But once I'm able to get that information, I can just do a side presentation to the Planning Commission that's not related to any project in particular and give all the data of how many liquor licenses we currently have and the capacity that we have to allow new ones for the entire city.
Okay, and I think last one. You said we can
Condition?
identify condition for limiting the size or the area of the liquor area?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna go ahead and
What is-
call, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Currently, do they identify a specific area or,
I'm sorry, what was that question? Was that for me or for Chris?
It is for Chris, I
for,
think.
for Chris,
Okay.
do they currently
So-
identify a specific area or proposed area?
They don't currently identify an area, but but ABC gives guidance on where it cannot go. And so the guidance that I'm relying on is the previous one that you guys did that was for a similar mini mart that was a part of a gas station where it was restricted to a certain number of shelves and things like that. So those are things that we have done in the past for different types of liquor licenses. So I wouldn't, my recommendation is to just consider the size of it and maybe give a certain percentage that they can't increase so that when they come in for a business license, planning can require a floor plan, and we can see if that floor plan is in compliance with the conditions. And if it's not, we'll let them know. And if they want to appeal the decision of the Planning Commission, that's an option too.
Okay, I like that. Okay, Melissa, that's it for me. Sorry.
Okay, and so let me get this correct, so I'm gonna explain it to the applicant as well. We're gonna be adding a condition to limit the display area, or not
That
display,
would
display area.
Yeah, that would be my proposal, and I'm not sure if the other commissioners are in agreement or would like to differ from it.
Okay, that's fine, I just wanna get it clear, I may explain that to the applicant. When the time, I'll keep the applicant on the phone, and so when the time comes for the voting, we'll ask, the applicant whether they agree to that. And that's limiting the display area. Is it to mirror what's in the current municipal code, 50%, or is there another number that you were looking at?
Well, I believe 50% is the sales, so I think we want to limit the area. We don't want this to be, to take up 50% of the entire
Okay.
mini mart. So I think I would defer to Chris to identify what we've done in the past. I know in the past we had a floor plan for the last one we approved, and we were able to look at the proportion of it, and I think we're pretty happy with that same proportion that we could apply maybe to this project.
Okay,
Before we,
so I'll have Chris consider that then, and I'll go ahead and call the applicant. Commissioner Richard, did you have a comment?
just a question before we do that, or wasn't, I'm just to make sure I understood correctly. I believe what Chris was saying was this, because this application is specifically from the owner, that we wouldn't be making the conditions right now. We would be doing that once the applicant or whoever occupies the space would then be coming back before us to talk about that. So are we moving forward with putting the condition now, or are we waiting till someone occupies the space?
Through the chair, you could condition now, and so that condition will have to go forward with any future applicant. And if the applicant disagrees, they have the option to come back to the Planning Commission.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and call, the applicant. 1 second. You guys hear the ringing?
Hello, can I help you?
Hi, is this Mr. Pornamdari?
Yes, it is.
Hi, this is Melissa Crossway from the city of Hawthorne. I'm calling you on speakerphone, and I am legal counsel to the Planning Commission.
Yes.
We are considering your item, your CUP, and the public hearing has been opened, and we are wanting to get any comments from you. I believe there may be some questions, but we want to give you an opportunity to speak at this time. Do you have any comments that you wish to make about your item?
Oh, definitely. I read the staff recommendation, I confirmed with them, and then I'm glad to answer any question you might have.
Okay, did everyone hear that? Can everyone hear Mr. Pornamdari well?
I can't really
Yeah.
understand what's being said.
Okay, he indicated that he read the recommendation of the staff, and he agrees with it, and he's available to answer questions. So, we actually did receive two emails. Mr. Pornamdari, just hold on for 1 second. We received two emails, and typically we consider this late communications, but because because members of the public can't attend in person, I'm going to read these emails as testimony for the public hearing. So let me do that very quickly. Or do you want to do it, Chris? Do you mind if I do it?
I don't mind. I just want the commission to know. I would have brought that up. It didn't come up yet, so that was next.
That's right. Okay, so I have an email from Mr. Jose Benitez of 3719 West 115th Street in Hawthorne, saying, "Dear Mr. Palmer, I'm writing to you in objection of permitting the sale of alcohol at 3670 Pearl Highway. Our concern are the type of environment it creates. Generally, stores that sell beer, wine, and spirits breed trouble for high rates of violence, as well as giving a neighbor a poor appearance and affecting property values, not to mention the amount of trash that it generates on the neighborhood. My house has a one-way alley where I frequently find empty bottles of beer and alcohol bottles. Having store like will only increase the amount trash already littered there. There is already two establishments on Pearl Highway which provide such service. Is there a need for another one? There's also the issue of prostitution and soliciting that happen in this area. Thank you for your time. Jose Benitez." I also received an email from Wilda Harrington. She did not provide a property address. Attention, Christopher Palmer, in response to the public hearing for a liquor license for 3670 West Imperial Highway in the city of Hawthorne, I oppose this license because we have been misled by the city of Hawthorne and the owner of this property. We were told that it would be a housing unit for seniors. Instead, it's a huge complex that's a haven for transients and rodents. The builder tore down our 6-foot wooden fence with lattice and Christmas lights on top of it and put up a shorter brick fence that allows no privacy. Today is May 20th, 2020, and we received this notice on May 18th, 2020, which gave us a short time to appear at this meeting, so we're sending an email. To repeat my response, I am saying no to the sale of beer, wine, and distilled liquor. This is my 4th letter in response to your request for the sale of liquor and my disappointment of not being compensated for all the electrical wiring and privacy from the shrubbery that they destroyed putting up the brick fence. I sent numerous pictures of the before and after of the fencing. The City of Hawthorne Planning Department seems to prefer the interests of the builder instead of the well-being of the residents. Respectfully, Wilda Harrington. So those are the two persons that wish to provide testimony on this item.
Basically, what it's going to be is going to be something similar to an ATM market, and then it's going to serve the neighborhood, and we're going to watch closely, make sure everything clear and clean.
Okay. Are there any questions for the applicant?
Do they already have a proposed tenant in mind to occupy that space?
Mr. Pornamdari, could you hear his question?
No, I could not.
I'm so sorry. I can't put it any higher. If you watch on television or online, you may be able to hear it, but I'll repeat it. His question is whether you have a proposed tenant in mind.
It's going to be owner occupied.
Owner occupied. Okay, can you guys hear him fine?
Okay, so it sounds like he'd be owning that space. So then we could probably request that he provide a floor plan, since it's not going to be, another tenant occupying that space.
Okay, Mr. Pornamdari, were you able to hear that?
No.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Maybe I'll call you from my cell phone so you could hear better. The comment was that since it's owner occupied, we may be requesting a copy of the floor plan. And what else did you mention, Commissioner Caraveo? Requesting a copy of the floor plan.
Yeah, we're more interested in a floor plan showing the display area.
Display area.
the display area is going to be very limited, and then basically, once you get the approval, then we got to go to ABC and then get their approval as well. Then at that time, we are going to lay out just the minimum, the same as any other minimum. It's around 2,000 square foot, and that's basically what it's going to be.
Okay. Did everyone hear the response?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to, sir, I'm going to call you from my cell phone instead, because I think we might be able to hear you better that way. So
No, I could hear you very good, but I cannot hear the commissioner.
they can't, oh, okay, you can't hear, yeah, you can't hear the commissioners. Let me see. Okay, go ahead, commissioners. Maybe you guys can put your volumes up as well. I don't know what else we could do. Are there any other questions of the applicant?
I mean, I guess just letting him know that we're asking for that floor plan so we can put in condition that limits the alcohol display area, the square foot size.
Could you hear that, sir?
No, I couldn't.
Okay. The commission wants to get a copy of that floor plan so that they can condition the project to limit the amount of the display area.
Oh, sure, they could do it now. Just condition 200 square foot for the display area. That's I don't have no objection.
To provide the floor plan is.
Through the chair, Melissa, may I say something to
Yes,
that?
go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
What, to the commission, what he's saying is, if you
Hold
can,
on,
whatever
Mr.
size.
I'm sorry,
you
could you
can
give me 1 second? I'm actually going to call you back on my cell so that you can hear them better. I'm going to call you right back.
Sure, sure, thank you.
In the meantime, he's saying that whatever you condition today, he'll do it. So if you tell him, 25%, 20% of the floor area and where you want it to go, he'll do it, is what he's saying. So I just didn't know if that was clear to you guys. Thank you.
Okay.
And it sounded like he said 300 square feet.
That's what I heard too.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming back.
Okay, so hopefully you can hear it a little bit better. Okay, so commissioners, go ahead, commissioners. Did you, Chris, did you have another comment?
No, I was just saying to the commission, if they were to condition it with a certain size today, he would be okay with that. And so now that he's back on the phone, he can speak for himself.
Okay. Mr. Pornamdari, were you able to hear Mr. Palmer?
No.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay, he's indicated that his understanding is that what you are indicating is that you would be happy to have this project be conditioned to limit the floor area now. And whatever condition they wish to place would be something that you would be amenable to, you would agree to.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay, so yes, okay. Sorry about that. Okay.
No, thanks.
Okay, any other questions? Seems like not, okay. Oh, go ahead.
I was thinking like that one beer and wine license that we approved. I think it was for like a gas station. We asked that they only sell like beer in packs. And is that something that we might be interested in allowing for? I was just trying to get the opinions of the other commissioners. I know it sounds like this is a very sensitive topic for this area. We have, we've gotten a lot of comments from the neighbors. And so I just wanted to know what your opinions were on it.
Point just for clarification, when you're looking at selling beer only in packs, are we referring to like only selling them in six packs, or are we talking about where some stores do the a pack of 3, but they'll be like the can was just tall cans or things of that nature, or how exactly would you want to do it in packs wise?
from what I recall, the issue was selling one single can, from a six-pack, or just individual cans, not allowing that. That's what we did on the last, I believe.
Okay.
Wait, Mr. Pornamdari, you're not able to hear any of this? And you can hear?
No, I could not.
You could not, okay.
Is there any way we can invite him?
I know, I was just gonna ask, can we do that? Because I don't want him to miss out on the conversation. Chief, is there a way to do that?
Yes. However, if we can just take a quick recess from the live feed.
Okay.
We can do that.
Okay, okay, no problem.
Email me his phone number, please.
I'll do that right now. So we're taking a short break.
Okay.
Mr. Pornamdari, we're going to invite you to the Zoom meeting so that you can actually hear everybody. I'm going to give your phone number to Chief Ishii, and he'll hook you up in our meeting here, however that needs to happen. I think it's just by phone, but I'm going to send him your number right now.
Or should we text the number?
I'm going to send him your phone number. He's going to call you, I think, right now.
New York is the canary in the coal mine. What happens to New York is going to wind up happening in your city and in your community. We are going to fight every way we can to save every life that we can. We are all first responders. Your actions can either save or endanger a life. Job one has to be save lives. That has to be the priority.
We have to stay home.
Not just to protect yourself, but to protect others.
Stay at least 6 feet away from other people. 2, arm's length. Just because you're at home
doesn't mean that we can't be alone together.
wash, washy, wash, washy, wash, wash your hands. Scrub it while you sing the song. Wash, washy, wash, washy, wash, wash. Rub your hands and fingers and the places in between. Using soap and water makes your hands so clean. Wash your hands. Great job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now dry.
Wash your hands for 20 seconds, just like Elmo.
How do you protect yourself and others from coronavirus?
Avoid touching your eyes, your nose, and your mouth.
Wash your hands often with soap and water for 20+ seconds.
Clean and disinfect surfaces and objects.
Together, we can help slow the spread.
Difficulties getting you on. If you'd like, we can proceed. I'll let you know right now there are 2 commissioners that need to leave, so you'll have less commissioners making a decision. Your other option would be to ask us to continue your matter to the next meeting, so that we can get this technical. I apologize profusely. We're still learning. We're still figuring out how to do this, and we can get you on for the next meeting. What would you like to do? I'm sorry?
In order to get that approval, how many votes do we need to have? 2 or 3?
No, 3. It's just you're gonna be down 2. There will only be 3 commissioners present, so all 3 commissioners would need to agree to approve your item. That's all. No, it's up to you, sir. Whatever you'd like to do, we can continue it. Or we can proceed, and I do have some concerns about you not being able to hear, though. That is a problem. I don't want you to miss out on being able to effectively communicate your position if you can't hear them.
Sure, we could continue for the next meeting. That's fine.
I think for technological reasons, it'd be better if we continued the item. So
that's great. Sure.
Okay, then let's do that, sir. Is there a motion to continue this item, to keep the public hearing open and continue this item to the date of the next planning commission meeting, which I don't have a calendar in front of me. Chris, do you happen to have the date?
June 3rd.
June 3rd, okay. So if someone could make a motion to keep the public.
Motion to continue.
June 3rd.
Second.
Motion to continue.
I could not hear. Who made the motion?
Commissioner Ortiz.
Oh, okay, thank you. And it was seconded by?
Mr. Richards.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'll go ahead and take that vote. Chairperson Smith? Oh, sir, I think you have to unmute yourself.
Pardon me?
Give me 1 second, sir. Mr. Portamdari, they are unmuting and they're taking the vote now to continue.
Sure.
I think you're on now, Chairperson Smith. I can hear you now.
Okay. Yes, I vote yes.
Yes. Okay. Vice Chairperson Alshanable?
Yes.
Commissioner Ortiz?
Yes.
Commissioner Caraveo?
Yes.
Commissioner Richard?
Yes.
Okay, so we are continuing this item, keeping the public hearing open and continuing the item to 6 p.m. on June 3rd. Okay, Mr. Portamdari, did you get that?
Thanks to you and all the commissioners. I sincerely appreciate your support.
Okay, I apologize for the technical problems. Thank you.
Have a great evening.
You too. Bye-bye. Okay.
My
If I may, through the
apologies,
chair.
everybody,
I'm sorry.
but I have to leave. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I have to leave too. I apologize for that. Through the chair, I have to leave.
Okay, could I get, because we're gonna lose quorum right now, Could I get you to please, continue the next item? Actually, it's not a public hearing item, so.
It does,
So
yeah.
we'll just go ahead and do it. Can we do a quick vote just to continue it?
Okay.
Okay, so, continuing.
Move to
on
continue.
Bonus Housing Agreement, amendment to application number 2015 DB03 for 3857 West 139th Street. Is there a motion to continue?
Yes, I move to continue.
Okay, and a second?
Second.
Okay, and the vote, Chairperson Smith,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Ashenable,
Yes.
Commissioner Ortiz?
He's
I think he left already.
He left, okay, no problem. Commissioner Caraveo?
Yes.
Thank you, and Commissioner Richard?
yes.
Thank you so much. So
Thank
this,
you.
go ahead,
Thank
you guys can actually probably go ahead and adjourn the meeting.
So are we now,
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and back to, calling to order, admin items, commissioner reports, and adjournment. That's it.
okay. Thank you. So now we'll call back to order the Planning Commission concurrently with the Airport Zoning Commission. Are there any administrative items? There
No,
aren't.
no items.
We have Commissioners' report.
We're gonna go ahead and just adjourn.
Okay, doesn't look
We
like,
may have lost our quorum already, so it's
So-
6:54.
so we'll now
Ended at 6:54.
we'll adjourn the meeting at 6:54.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you, commissioners.
Thank you.